Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a supernatural horror film, Silent Hill Part 1. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. In the middle of the night, a short-haired woman called Rose abruptly leaves their home to find their adopted daughter, Sharon. As she shouts Sharon's name, her husband, Christopher, quickly responds to help her find Sharon. She then walks through the river, which leads to a dangerous waterfall cliff. On the other side of the cliff, she sees Sharon, who appears to be sleepwalking. In Sharon's perspective, the cliff turns out to be a chaotic bottomless pit, while a creepy girl from the pit seems to be calling her. She's about to jump the cliff, so Rose rushes to catch her. As Rose manages to save her, she continuously screams Silent Hill. It seems that Sharon has a supernatural condition, so Christopher arrives to assure them that everything will be fine. 2 years later, Rose and Sharon are having a sweet moment together in the middle of the sunny meadows. Rose then tells Sharon that they are going on a trip towards a place called Silent Hill, since Sharon keeps talking about the place while sleepwalking, but Sharon cannot remember herself talking about it. So Rose says they are going there to remind her of the place. They then leave and pass through a sign with a scripture, which implies that people and saints have judgment over the world and the angels. Meanwhile, Christopher tries to call them. He is frustrated, as it appears that he's not informed about the trip. He then checks Rose's browsing history, revealing that they are heading towards a haunted ghost town called Silent Hill. He finds out that the town's population was wiped out 30 years ago due to a tragic underground fire. Rose and Sharon proceed to drive towards Silent Hill. As night comes, they take a stop at the gas station. After pouring gas on their car, she checks Sharon inside, and she finds her sketch pad with a creepy picture of a burning place. She thinks that Sharon did it, so she shows it to her. But Sharon insists she did not draw the picture, while she cries in terror upon seeing it. Her crying calls the attention of the policewoman, short-named Miss Officer. As Rose comes to pay for the gas inside, Miss Officer checks Sharon in the car. Sharon then utters the rule that she never talks to strangers. Miss Officer then says she is a good girl. Meanwhile, Rose asks the cashier for directions towards Silent Hill. The cashier replies that the way there doesn't exist anymore. Also, the cashier tells Rose that her card is declined, so Rose just pays with the cash. Then, she calls Christopher, informing him that he can't stop them from going to Silent Hill. He then insists that Sharon needs medical attention. On the contrary, she thinks the medications will never work, so she will bring Sharon to Silent Hill to figure out the reason behind Sharon's strange condition. It turns out that Sharon might have come from Silent Hill before her adoption to the family. Shortly after, she proceeds to drive away with Sharon. Later, they are driving along the mountain highways. Miss Officer pulls them over, so Rose stops the car. But when she sees a sign that Silent Hill is already nearby, she quickly drives away again. To get rid of Miss Officer, she drives the car fast enough that she manages to pass through the gate. Suddenly, a creepy girl walks into the middle of the road. Rose then avoids the girl and crashes the car on the side. The next morning, Rose wakes up from the car accident, realizing that Sharon is missing. The surrounding is covered with a heavy fog, while ashes keep falling. Rose walks out of the car and proceeds to search for Sharon. She sees a sign that says Silent Hill, notifying her that she has finally arrived at the town. As she walks along the foggy streets of the ghost town, she notices a young girl that seems to be Sharon running around. She chases it until she reaches a long staircase towards a basement. She hears a loud siren as darkness comes, so she uses her lighter to explore the dark basement. Inside, she sees a mutilated man in a hazmat suit, which freaks her a lot, so she immediately tries to run away. But behind her is a troop of roasted baby zombies, slowly moving towards her. They are trying to drag her. She releases a scream as she becomes helpless. The zombies then suddenly disappear. The following day, she wanders again through the desolate streets to find Sharon. She then stumbles upon a homeless woman called Miss Homeless, who tells her that they both lost their children. When she shows Sharon's photo, Miss Homeless tries to steal it, so she immediately walks away from there. She then returns to their car. There, she sees a drawing of a burning school. Shortly after, she sends a voicemail to Christopher, informing him that she lost Sharon. Suddenly, Miss Officer comes to arrest her, thinking that she did something bad to Sharon. Apparently, Miss Officer was able to follow her yesterday. Meanwhile, Christopher is driving towards Silent Hill to find them. He receives Rose's voicemail along the way, but it is completely distorted. As he arrives at the town gate, a police officer intercepts him. It turns out that the police officer is also trying to find Rose and Miss Officer. so they plan to find them in the town. Back to the town, Rose and Miss Officer try to walk out of there, but the road is completely cut off. As they are figuring out a way out, a monster suddenly appears. The monster spits hot ash at Miss Officer, which burns her suit. She then shoots the monster to death. So Rose grabs this chance to run away immediately. She proceeds to go toward the school, hoping to find Sharon there. As she enters the school, she slowly surveys everything. Suddenly, she sees people in hazmat suits patrolling the area. She then immediately goes towards the other building. As she walks along the classroom, she notices a young girl running around. She then chases the young girl along the stairway. Soon after, she arrives at the bathroom, where she finds another mutilated body tied up by barbed wires. She then takes an object out of its smelly mouth. Suddenly, the people in hazmat suits find her in the bathroom. She locks the door, but they are forcibly trying to open it. Fortunately, the bird chirps, signaling them that darkness is coming. So they immediately run away to find shelter. As darkness comes, the loud siren blares again. The place around her starts rotting, and the mutilated body starts moving. As the mutilated body touches the wall, the place suddenly decays. The mutilated body slowly crawls towards her, so she immediately runs away. In the hallways, she sees large cockroaches devouring the zombified men, which almost scares the shit out of her. She then quickly runs away. Shortly after, she reaches a burning pit. As she crosses the pathway to the other side, she sees the young girl named Alessa furiously sketching on the paper. As Alessa looks at her, she falls out of the window. The slaughterman with a big sword walks outside, so she quickly stands up and runs towards the other building. Meanwhile, Christopher and the officer arrive inside the Silent Hill School. They are at the same location as Rose, but they cannot see her. However, Christopher is able to smell Rose, possibly her smelly hormones, so he knows that Rose is there. It appears that Rose is trapped in the alternate dimension, while they are in the real dimension. This means they cannot see Rose, since they are not in the same dimensions. Back to Rose, she stops running inside due to tiredness, so the cockroaches are able to swarm towards her. Fortunately, Miss Officer arrives and drags her towards the room. They then immediately lock the door, but the slaughterman slices it repeatedly, trying to enter the room. Luckily, the slaughterman and the creepy creatures suddenly disappear, while the surroundings go back to normal. It turns out that everything turns into a normal condition when morning comes. In contrast, the creepy creatures come out every evening, while the surroundings turn into a hellish condition. To continue their search for Sharon, they follow a clue from the object found by Rose earlier, which leads them toward the hotel. As they come inside the hotel, they find a woman throwing stones at Miss Homeless. The woman tells them that Miss Homeless is a cast out who has already lost her daughter. The woman comes there to scavenge for some food for her mother. It appears that there are other people in the town who seek shelter at the church. Suddenly, Miss Officer finds a creepy drawing in the locker of room number 111, so they decide to find the room. Meanwhile, Christopher is desperate to find Rose and Sharon, so he sneaks into the archives at night to figure out what happened to them at Silent Hill. As he checks the files, he finds a police case that refers to Alessa as a victim of burning. Back at the hotel, they proceed on finding the room. As they search for the room, they see a painting that depicts an act of burning a witch. They figure out that the people there are witch hunters who burn witches, since they believe it can prevent the apocalypse. Rose suddenly figures out that room 111 is behind the painting. As they enter the room, they find everything completely burned out. Meanwhile, Alessa shows herself to Rose, so Rose quickly chases her until she reaches a pit. There, Alessa shows herself burning and then instantly disappears. Suddenly, the bird flies out of the pit, which signifies that darkness is coming. Rose, Miss Officer, and a woman quickly head towards the cult church to seek refuge. It turns out that the church is a safe place during darkness, since it does not change during the evening. When they arrive at the church, they see a crowd of cult fanatics flocking inside. Miss Homeless also warns Rose and Miss Officer not to be deceived by the cult, since the cult fanatics are already damned for their sins. As everyone goes inside the church, the woman comes back to throw stones at Miss Homeless. Suddenly, the slaughterman appears behind the woman and grabs her sexy body. Shortly after, the slaughterman ripped her body in half without hormone mercy, ending her sexy life. Meanwhile, the church door closes. The cult fanatics curse at Rose and Miss Officer, since the fanatics believe that they are witches. So Miss Officer shoots her final bullet to silence them. The cult leader walks in, telling everyone they need to pray, so they proceed on performing the prayer. After the prayer, Rose desperately asks the cult leader to find Sharon. The cult leader reveals that Rose needs to face the demon to find Sharon. The cult leader also warns her about the danger of facing the demon, but she insists on facing it. They then head towards the hospital, together with the cult members wearing hazmat suits. The cult leader shows the demon's location to Rose through the map at the hospital. As she is about to ride the elevator, the cult leader realizes that she is Sharon's mother. So the cult leader tells the fanatics to catch her, because they think Sharon is a witch. But Miss Officer prevents them and helps her go down using the elevator. She then successfully goes down the basement, while Miss Officer is left alone to face the fanatics. Miss Officer has no bullet left, so the fanatics proceed on beating her. Meanwhile, Rose is able to enter the demon's room, where a voice tells her the truth behind Silent Hill. The voice tells her that the whole town believed that Alessa was a witch, so everyone hated her. It turns out that Alessa's mother is actually Miss Homeless, who got cast out by the town due to her giving birth to Alessa out of wedlock. The cult leader convinced Miss Homeless that they needed to purify Alessa after she was raped by the school janitor, so Miss Homeless agreed to the cult leader due to the pressure from the cult. The cult brought Alessa to the hotel room to burn her. As the cult performs the ritual, the fire accidentally spreads through the hotel, burning everything on its way. The police officer then found Alessa still alive, but she suffered great pain because her body was already toasted. Miss Homeless regretted her decision upon seeing Alessa's gruesome condition. Alessa seeks revenge on the whole town, and the demon comes to help her seek revenge. Alessa's rage split her soul apart, one half manifesting the dark side, while the other half manifests the good side, which is implanted into a newborn baby, who is actually Sharon, and was taken to the real world later to be adopted by Rose and Christopher from the orphanage. Apparently, the young Alessa, who keeps running around the town, is the demon Alessa. Now, the demon Alessa warns Rose that the cult leader plans to purify Sharon by burning her. The demon Alessa then enters Rose's body so she can go inside the church to prevent the cult from burning Sharon. Meanwhile, the cult members take Sharon from Miss Homeless's apartment. Apparently, Miss Homeless kept her all along, so the cult could not find her. Unfortunately, the cult leader figures out that she's hiding Sharon. Later, the cult prepares a large bonfire for the purifying ritual. The cult is about to burn Miss Officer and Sharon. They firstly put Miss Officer on the fire, which slowly burns her. As the fire slowly toasts Miss Officer to be a toasted turkey, the cult members cheer on the side while also mocking her. After she gets burned to death, the cult prepares Sharon for the ritual by tying her on the ladder. Rose suddenly arrives, completely horrified by the scene. She slowly walks in, declaring that the cult members are already damned for burning an innocent child. She then states with conviction that the cult leader is a sinner, so the cult leader instantly stabbed her in anger. As her blood drops to the ground, the church suddenly turns into decay, which is a sign that the demon finally penetrates the church. A pit opens up at the ritual stage where Alessa, surrounded by barbed wires, slowly rises up. She scares the cult members and then grabs the ugly cult leader using the barbed wires, while she also attacks the cult members. The barbed wires then pierce through the cult leader's body and rip it in half. On the other side, Rose stabs one of the cult members, so the other member tries to attack her. The barbed wires then squeeze the cult member to death. After that, the barbed wires execute the filthy cult members one after the other until no one left, while Miss Homeless is walking through the organs dropping on the floor. Meanwhile, Rose tries to close Sharon's eyes to stop her from seeing the violence, but Sharon still opens her eyes. She then sees demon Alessa looking at her. The following day, Rose and Sharon wake up. It appears that everything is finally over, while the demon Alessa and Sharon seemingly reunite into one body, since Sharon is now acting strangely. Shortly after, they walk out of the church, leaving Miss Homeless in a sad state of loneliness. They proceed on driving towards their home. At their arrival at home, it appears to be completely foggy, and they are still completely alone. In the end, Rose and Sharon appear to be still trapped in the alternate dimension, while Christopher is waiting for their arrival at home in the real dimension. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.